Every student has their own fears about graduating up into high school, getting lost in a new building, where to sit at lunch, and of course, making new friends. For Cedar Crest freshman Jake Waldron, his fears were a bit more serious. Jake recently finished the last of over 3 years of chemotherapy treatments for T-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Also known as ALL, this disease has a reputation for aggressive therapy sessions.
Painful. Every day it stuck a needle in me. Yeah. Painful. I don't like needles.
In order to cope with the agony, Jake turned to a popular character on BBC.
At the time, I started watching Doctor Who, so that was one of my role models. Also, at the time, I was also in The Homecoming, directed by the director of The Sound of Music. She's been a role model to me, too.
He is our student assistant director, and he helps out with running lines with people, running blocking with people. Blocking means where they move on stage. He helps out with taking notes and just organizing things. There wasn't much that I didn't know about his condition. I've worked with students before who have had cancer. I knew that he had a port in his chest for medication. I knew sometimes he's going to get a little more tired than some of the other kids. But most of the time you couldn't tell if Jake felt bad or not, because when he walked through the theater doors, it was all about the show and it wasn't about a boy with cancer.
Jake put on a brave face for the sake of theater, but when he was first diagnosed, it wasn't that simple.
It's really hard to explain. It's like impending doom. Just didn't know if I was going to make it or not.
For Jake, his struggle is coming to a close as he is finished with the last of his treatments and now only has 2 years left of remission until he is considered cancer-free. For Jake Waldron, his fear of the unknown won't get in the way of his passion for student directing and living life to the fullest. For CCNN, I'm Nick Weiss.